We're half an hour into trading. It is Thursday, March 10th. Hello, traders. The last video that I did was Tuesday morning. I got it out really early, about an hour after the open. Caterpillar, CAT, that was your stock of the day. I liked it on the long side. I had mentioned to you that I felt that the market had a chance to bounce. That's exactly what happened. Right around in here is about where the video came out. So you can see it somewhere around the $210 level approximately. Stock all the way up to $215 today. Yes, it was an excellent pick. Even if you just day traded it, you had lots of opportunities to make money on it on Tuesday, which, by the way, that is what you should be doing right now. You should be trading on a daily basis, intraday basis. Keep your overnight exposure to a minimum because we're seeing gigantic gaps up one way and then reversals the next day. So, how the heck can you have an overnight position when you've got that kind of market volatility? I do not see that settling down before the FOMC statement next Wednesday. Yesterday, didn't do a video, but I'd mentioned to all of my traders, I'm looking for a nice rally that stalls somewhere around the 427 level. We actually got to 428 on the S&P 500. That would set up a really good overnight short because I felt that the CPI was going to come in hot today. All the focus right now is on interest rates. A high CPI number, which, by the way, it came in, I believe, around 7.9%, the highest level that we've seen since 1982. This increases the chances of the Fed hiking rates by 50 basis points next Wednesday. I think that's what they should do. I think if they do anything less, the market's going to feel that they're way behind the eight ball on this. And a 50-point rate hike would also send a signal that the Fed feels that the economy is on sound footing. So even with a 50 basis point rate hike, I think the market should be able to shoulder the news. It might even like it. So initially you see that headline, you go, oh my God, sell. But that might actually be well received by the market. So what the heck is going on today? Well, first of all, you look at Caterpillar and you have to wonder, how the heck is this guy able to find picks consistently? Every single video, these stocks do exactly what he says. Well, it's the system. No, I'm not a genius. No, I'm not clairvoyant. I don't have a crystal ball. It's the system. The system tells me what to do, and that's what we teach is a trading system, and we have the tools to help us find these stocks. So what's the system telling me right now? Well, the system is telling me, first of all, on a 5-minute basis, this is a gigantic 1OP spike. The best trading setup for us today would be to see a rally, and I put a 40% probability on this before the open. I'd mentioned we want to see a choppy rally that runs out of steam, and we want to see mixed green and red candles. Well, that's exactly what we're getting. That tells us that the trend strength, the strength in this bounce, is not that great. And we want to see this end well before we fill in the gap. So we don't want to see any consecutive long green candles because that would be a sign that the buying pressure is heavy. Why did I feel that we might see a bounce early today, even with the CPI being so hot? Well, because yesterday buyers flexed their muscles. And you can see how yesterday, the entire day, the market moved higher. Well, this overnight gap down, the buyers are going to test that selling pressure to see how strong it is. So it would be natural. Hey, they liked them yesterday. Maybe they like them again today. So they come in and they start buying, and eventually this rally is going to run out of steam. We're going to get a bearish cross, upward sloping trend line. We wait for that bearish cross and we wait for that upward sloping trend line to be breached. When it is, we have confirmation that it's time to short the S&P futures. That is the trade that I'm looking for right now. I believe we're going to continue to see a downward market bias. Why? First of all, we have a trading channel with a negative slope to it. You can see it's very clearly defined. So every rally up to the downtrend line is a shorting opportunity. And that leaves us with lots of room on the downside. I think 390 on the S&P is about where we could get. The other thing that we want to take a look at right now is we want to put up the major moving averages. There was a time when we never even touched the 200-day moving average. We never even touched the 100-day moving average. At best, we were touching the 50-day moving average and bouncing off of it. Right now, you can see we've spent 3 weeks below the 200-day moving average. We've only been able to get above the 100-day moving average 2 individual days. The 50-day moving average is moving dangerously close to the 200-day moving average, and if it crosses, that is known as a death cross. That is a bearish scenario. You can see this is QQQ already in a death cross. So you have to be thinking that every bounce is a shorting opportunity. I know it's hard to shift into this mentality after a 12-year bull market. Conditions are changing. Now we have the technical proof that we needed. So you don't just go out and start willy-nilly shorting the market because you think it's so rich that it has to roll over. That's a great way to lose a lot of money. Traders that did that were carried out in body bags because you'd get a brief little move like this and then zoom higher. Brief little pullback, zoom higher. Now we have concrete evidence, longer term upward sloping trend lines breached, major moving averages breached. Now you can see that yes, the selling pressure is bona fide. Now it is okay to short, and you should be shorting until that downward sloping channel is breached to the upside and that downward sloping trend line is breached to the upside. You should not be trading on the long side. So let's take a look at some shorts that we have working today. I'm going to go right into my pop bear list. ASAN is at the top of the list. I'm going to put up a 5-minute chart and we're going to take a look at the stock. So mind you, we're going to keep up the S&P chart because there may be a shorting opportunity coming up and I want to make sure that I'm aware of it. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to click here and I'm going to draw that upward sloping trend line. I'll also be watching it very closely and I would want to get in if that is violated right there. See that long green candle on the opening price right there? If that open fails, that tells me that the buyers that came in and started gobbling it up, they're not there anymore, and that would be a significant breach. So yes, I will be shorting there. I'm also waiting for that 1OP indicator to roll over. It has not done that yet. So what are the stocks that look really weak? Well, ASAN, this does not look good. We had a huge gap down, and that was earnings related. So let's go into the daily chart. You can see steady downtrend, horizontal support breached. This stock looks like it's going to continue lower in a very negative earnings reaction. So I like this on the short side. What I would do is I would wait for that bearish signal in the S&P 500. I'd like to see the halfway point of this long green candle violated. Then I think I've got a decent short. You can also draw an upward sloping trend line here. If that's breached, that would also give you another signal. So I'm just going to drop it right now and I'll wait and see what happens. But I think ASAN is going to be my pick of the day on the short side. Very, very weak. I am focusing on the short side because we've got a market that is very, very weak. Our longer term and shorter term market opinion and our confidence in that market opinion dictate our trading. The market drives every trading decision that we make. Let's click through and see what else we can find. Relative weakness here, big volume. This is on FUTU. Chinese stocks getting pounded again. FXI, new low. There was a slight reprieve in it yesterday. Sorry about that, typo. New 52-week low. What the heck is going on in China? Could be some credit issues there. These Chinese stocks are very, very weak. This is a great place to short. Now, a lot of times you'll get the move initially early in the day, and then the stocks don't do anything. So that's why you have a lot of gaps in here. But the trend is very, very strong to the downside. FUTU, Excellent looking short right there. PDD breaking to a new low here. JD, I highlighted this a couple of days ago as my short. Beautiful. Baidu, testing this horizontal support. This one's a little sticky. It's finding support there, so it would not be a favorite short of mine. But this ASAN looks like it could continue lower. Let's do a very quick search. Let's go and find stocks that have a bearish signal across. Whoops, I just had an alert that went off there, so let me see what that was. And that was QQQ, breached below the trend line. Okay. So in any event, I want to go in and I want to take a look at a custom search, and I want to mark trade signal bearish across multiple time frames, and I want to see what comes up. Well, a lot of candidates. So we cast a wide net and then we draw it in. So I'm going to look for stocks that have good option liquidity. Better still, pretty big list for me to knock through. Now I went stock greater, or excuse me, below prior day's low. Well, a lot of stocks are going to have that quality because we've got a market that's down today on the open. All right, now here we've got a decent list. We've also got heavy volume in these stocks. So let's take a look at these. I'm going to put it off screen so we can click through them easier. XPEV, UNFI. Oof. Boy, that's a nasty little stock right there. Earnings before the open down. Got another drop here today. That looks like a really good short as well. Boy, that could be a good one. TME. I'm just clicking through TME. Cheap stock, $3 stock. Don't like shorting those so much. SNCR, also cheap stock, but very, very weak. Boy, FOSL, earnings after the close yesterday. Yow. Look out. That could be a really good short also. You can see how this search is yielding some excellent shorting opportunities. CAG, Baidu. So I'm not seeing anything too compelling right here, but I'm actually, those are all decent picks, but I'm going to try and widen the net here and see if I can find anything else that looks good in here. And so I've just reduced some of the criteria in here to see if anything else comes in. I'm just scanning through the list. HD, interesting. Let's take a look at that daily chart. That's not bad. There is your flagpole right there. There's your upward sloping trend line. This is a bearish flag formation right there. You can see the uptrend line breached. Take a look at that 5-minute chart. Yes, that is pretty dang weak. You can see market bouncing, stock trying to get off the deck, but not able to do so in any great way. I think ASAN may be my short of the day. I think I'm going to stick with ASAN, but HD looks like a good short. All the Chinese stocks look excellent for shorting. FXI, if you just wanted to short the index, you could go with FXI. So those are some great picks. This is how I found them. Custom search within Option Stalker. Mark all of the shorter term time frames as bearish to find stocks that are on a sell signal across multiple time frames, stock below prior day's low, good option liquidity, heavy volume, and you're going to have some great picks. Look for the market to start softening up here. I think we go lower. Good luck with your trading. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.